Welcome to the How to Be podcast with Brittany Reid. Unraveled conversations of all unique and untamed ways of being. Building a millionaire mindset while sitting in ceremony, and all things whole food related. How to Be is inspired to relax into the subtleties to reconnect with self, all while manifesting our wildest dreams.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the How to Be podcast. It has been a minute. I've really given myself permission to record podcasts through my intuition and not be so scheduled. And I know that means that I'm not sharing something maybe every week, but I want this place to be intentional, sacred, valuable, and I don't want to say anything or share anything when I'm not feeling in the space. And I think that's one powerful thing for us all to recognize within ourselves and also honor, because the greatest medicine comes through when you're sharing with the energy of wanting to share. And it's been a very inward space lately, a lot of education, a lot of time away, just me doing my thing at my house, in my yard with my family, and just taking not a step back, but a little bit more stillness. That's a season. And this is just a reminder for you as an entrepreneur that there's seasons, and you can do things, though, to support those seasons. And I feel grateful that we have that support because it just it releases a lot of pressure of feeling like the need to show up when I know I need a pause. And in this space, I was really sitting and feeling into, what is going to be the greatest medicine coming through in the industry of entrepreneurship. And I've gathered a few different, I'm going to pull them up, gathered these, what I like to say, niches on the rise. So I really believe that we're being called into a space, and these sort of areas of sacred knowledge and teaching will become more, not mainstream, but just more aware and appreciated and acknowledged, and they're going to grow really quickly and rapidly. And the first one is shadow work. I know that this has been a really important piece for many, many years for myself. And there's incredible individuals who have been sharing, this work for many, many years. But I do have this intuitive nudge that shadow work is going to become more common and accepted, and not something that people avoid or try to avoid. And within this space, I also feel that there's going to be this increased desire to look at ancestral and karma clearing and healing and remembrance in the world. People are wanting to understand where they've come from, but they also want to learn how to release and know that there's certain things happening, there's certain patterns that are happening that aren't theirs, but are part of their lineage. And to heal the generations to come, it starts there. And so this also plays into a lot of womb healing and specific for women. And in the space of niches on the rise, a few other ones that I believe are going to be coming more in the forefront is the Akashic Records and Soul Star Chakra, 5D consciousness, really coming into the remembrance of the book of your life, the seat of your soul, and understanding, instead of trying to be your highest self, which is the term, but the remembrance of who you always have been, because you're going to be peeling back these layers of ancestral patterning and shadow works and the shadow emotions of this incarnation as a human. And one practice I feel is going to keep evolving and showing up more and more, and be more accepted in the world, and isn't so like woo and crazy and, all of the judgments that sometimes people can make, is Kundalini, and the practice of Kundalini, and waking up that limitless energy of the yoga of awareness, and the energy that's sitting at the base of your spine, laying dormant, the truth of who you have always been, and activating that energy so that you can take on and do the things that you want to do and create the impact and have the resilience and the nervous system and the endocrine system really operating optimally, and in such a space where the capacity of what you can hold is increased so that you can do this work in the world. And through these niches, I believe that online courses and online education is going to keep increasing and really being the way that we evolve. And I wouldn't be surprised if education for kids and homeschooling becomes a really, really big need in the world. I feel like it already is, but I feel like it will become more common. And also there'll be some really fascinating schools and education platforms for kids coming through. And throughout this space, I feel there's this yearning for a soul community, a space that isn't connected to maybe anyone in your immediate life, but a space for you to really start looking at these areas in a safe container, in a sacred, soul family container. And I feel those communities are going to be popping up more and more. And we're starting to really understand that the way that we've been operating and, the things that we've been trying to avoid aren't working anymore. And they're really impacting and influencing, the business we have, the career, the life, the relationships, everything. And so the niches on the rise, I feel, have a great importance because we're really evolving into a global consciousness that the space of our evolution is really healing the lower triangle, where these ancestral patterns are, where the shadow work is, where the karma lies, and allowing that Kundalini and the Akashic records and the soul star chakra, the 5D energy, to really pull us up into this new way of consciousness and unity, and a space of divine connection, and feeling that at a global scale, where that divine connection is just all flowing through us and with us, and that golden thread comes into the space. And more online courses, education for kids, and sacred online soul communities. I'm curious, is this one of your niches already? Is this something that you practice and you're already, sharing these medicines and these topics with the world? I'm curious to also hear if you feel like there is another space that's going to be on the rise as well. And so today, I'm sharing these niches on the rise where we are healing at a very deep, deep level. And I would love to hear from you. I would love to see you listening to the podcast. It is always my favorite when I get messages or I hear comments and even questions, because we make these podcast episodes and the interviews for you, and they're made for you. So I would love to hear what you would also love to hear too. And also with this, I would love to hear what you feel is a niche on the rise. And I'm wishing you the most beautiful moment wherever you are in the world. Sat Nam, and I'll see you in the next episode. A little gift for you. This episode is brought to you by the Kundalini Kriya that I began to practice to 3 times my revenue last year. You can download this Kundalini Kriya in the show notes and receive abundance, alignment, space, and ease with generating your desired income and impact this year.
Thank you for listening in on How to Be Podcast with Brittany Reid. It's been an absolute blessing to have you here with us. Don't forget to subscribe and share a review. You can find more info on Brittany Reid at brittanyreid.ca and follow all of the adventures and stillness on Instagram and Facebook at Brittany C. Reid. We rise together.